for Canada, in my understanding.
Absolutely. But Ambassador Katju, what happens next?
Look, Barkha, two things. First, for me, Trudeau's domestic problems are not an issue. That's an internal Canadian matter. He is the Prime Minister of Canada, and I'm concerned with his official position. What may be his domestic compulsions are for him to deal with. Certainly, the way to deal with domestic compulsions is not to point fingers at India or at any other country. So that is not an excuse that I even consider or look at. It's trash. Second, is that ironically, while such solicitude is shown to terrorists and others, do you know that applicants for Canadian visas who belong to Indian security forces
Are
and who
denied
have served
visas.
in Jammu and Kashmir, and no, they are asked questions that no government has the right to ask. Now, it is the sovereign right of every state to, to give or deny a visa. On that, I have no problems. The Canadians can decide they will not give visas to any Indian security personnel. But to ask security personnel questions which are violating or violative of their laws, of the rules that are imposed on them, are not within the sovereign right of any state. They are out of that. You have no right to ask a visa applicant to break the laws of his own country. Third point, where do we go from here? I would like to think that the Prime Minister of Canada would be advised now by his colleagues in cabinet, by his officialdom, that what he did was not particularly prudent or wise. Perhaps his friends and allies in the Five Eyes would tell him that, and that he will find a way to resolve this issue.
Yeah. I don't know what that.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
the,
Otherwise,
the last point. Otherwise, I think that the relationship per se, despite all that the Canadians have done, uh, is inherently, and I'm underlying the word inherently, an important relationship. And I do think that when the passions that have been roused, when this wave of passion subsides a bit, then perhaps wise men on both sides need to sit together, have quiet and full conversations in confidence on how to move forward. The
yeah, but
Canadians, if required, must change their laws. And we, if required, must, well,
what could
if
we
my
do?
colleagues, if my colleagues understood Hindi, but let me say it,
Try it.
कि diplomacy में, and you can perhaps translate it,
Okay.
डिप्लोमेसी में जोश के साथ होश कभी नहीं खोना चाहिए.
All right. Alongside your passions, never lose your circumspection. I'm doing a rough sort of translation here. That's what Ambassador Kaju said. Yash was